How's it going? This is Brian from B's Music Shop, and I'm here at the Anaheim 2024 NAMM show, and I'm here with Gray from GraphTech Guitar Labs. How's it going, Gray?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. So you have some new products here you want to show us. What have you got here?
We sure do. One of the new things for us this year, we've put out a line of ukulele tuners, and for the first time this year, we've got bass ukulele tuners.
Wow.
So they're specifically a 6-to-1 gear output and designed for silicone strings or the wound bass strings that you would see. So really, really coarse gear ratio, specifically designed for the ukulele. So you're not giving yourself carpal tunnel syndrome turning a regular guitar tuner over and over. That's a new one for us. A really popular one this year is the unlock nut. So for the first time, the Floyd Rose players that want to be able to use their tremolo don't have to have Allen key screws and locks to hold down their strings in place. You can go with a frictionless traditional nut in a locking nut footprint and then locking tuners instead.
That's so genius. It's so hard to find something like that. I do a lot of guitar repair. People want to go to a locking tuner, they want to do this, and you just got to get stuck with that big goofy
So you
nut.
get all what you want, like, in terms of the functionality of a locking here and a lock here, but you get a traditional tone from a unlocking nut, and the string grooves are designed specifically so you can still dive bomb and it's not going to come out. And you can get the radius just right for your instrument. Because a lot of locking nuts, you find they're 10-inch or 12-inch.
Yeah.
You've got a 16-inch fretboard. What are you going to do, right?
So you can use traditional nut file?
Exactly. Traditional nut file, you can customize it. So we offer it in two different sizes of 10-inch radius, like the Floyd Rose original, a 12 and a 16.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
So those are new for us for this year.
I love your tuners. I hadn't really used one for whatever reason, just hadn't, I do a lot of repair work. Somebody brought me a set the other day and I personally was the one to put them on, and they came with all the little kits to kind of make it universal. And I was like,
adapter
I
plates.
cannot believe no one has done this before. Like, it just was like, I saw it, I was like, this is the most genius thing I've ever seen.
The most aha product of anything we have, right? Like,
I just had this moment, I was like, I can't believe I've never seen this before now. I've seen the brand,
you have
and I've
different
seen
strings
things.
in each position. Why wouldn't you have different gears? It's kind of just a no-brainer. Yeah. So it's definitely one of those things that more and more every year we have different options, different finishes, different casing styles, bass, ukulele, you name it. And every 360-degree turn is one tone.
So, wow.
So we've just gone and sort of made some of them a little bit coarser, some of them a little bit finer, and gives you one turn equals one tone in each position. Which leads me over here. Bass. We now have ratio for bass. So we have two different casing styles. Your Y key, which is like a closed-in gear, and then an open gear.
Yes.
And another new thing for this year is the mono bridge saddles. So for the first time, we've got mono saddles that you can obviously, individual saddles, it's not on a plate, so you can do 2-string, 4-string, 100-string, whatever you want. You could also obviously stagger them if you're going to do like a multi-scale or a fan fret instrument.
Nice.
These have a piezo option in them as well. So that's actually what we're hearing today, right? We've got the piezo options.
You kind of scared me a little bit. I didn't know it was hooked up. I'm like the cat. I go hide under the bed when you do that.
Yeah, you'd never know that it was hooked up with all the rest of the noise in here. And magnetic locks to the posts, which is great. So if you take the strings off, the bridges are still held onto their posts. You don't screw up your setup.
So it's just like two posts. Is that so? Is it sort of like, say, like a Les Paul bridge might be, or something similar? Not necessarily. A little bit, but
And then you've got your little intonation screw there, so you can move the saddle back and forth to get your intonation right. It'll support top-loaded or string-through.
Nice.
So the back post actually locks the ball end into the saddle itself. Or you can go through the back, string through it, which is great.
Nice.
And then again, you've got about a 1/2 inch of play on either side, so you can adjust the angle of the saddle if you wanted to have it a little bit different for your playing style, for palm muting, or if you wanted to create a little bit more or a little bit less angle over the piezo insert.
Nice.
So you change the output a little bit.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking time to talk to us. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Happy jamming.